SMT Nation, we back. Nation, please do check out our partner, Mint Mobile. The partner link is in the description. Get a great deal on wireless, save some money, get great service. Also, we have a link to our Buy Me a Coffee. I love coffee. And if you guys want to directly support your creators, that's one way you can do it. All right, what we're going to be doing with today's video is we're going to be looking at the root metrics, half to 2022 mobile performance. What the company does is they get paid by the U.S. carriers. T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T will actually pay money for root metrics to go out and test the networks for them. All right. Now what they do is they go to the actual stores of the carriers and they buy phones from them and they get their premium, their best plan, and then they test it around these markets. All right. So and then they just collect data, they compile it, and then they put together these reports. All right, so in my opinion, I think they're one of the few trusted, scientifically tested reports that we can actually, extract meaning from. With the crowdsourced stuff, you got people that may or may not have the most updated devices. You may or may not have the best plans. Additionally, I think some people will just mash the speed test button when they're near a tower site, so you don't get a real world usage or comparison. Root doesn't look for tower sites. Root metrics is going to go to the library. They're going to go to the cafeteria at, whatever. They're going to go all over the place. They're going to go into, shopping centers and malls. They're going to drive around. They're going to go indoors. They're going to just do a thorough testing, and they're paid to do it. So this is why I like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and put timestamps and chapters for you guys as we go through this. So we're going to start here with key takeaways from each carrier. AT&T leads in national and state testing. It says AT&T won or shared the most U.S. Root Score awards of any carrier for the third consecutive time. They won 5 national awards outright, including U.S. overall performance by Root scores. I think here's what this tells me, and this is what I've been saying about AT&T. They are a very uniformly capacitive network. When you have AT&T, you can have faith that the network is quite modernized. The FirstNet contract really changed things for AT&T, forcing them to upgrade and even build new sites and put on that Band 14, and then in the process upgrade with everything else. Right, so you get a fully modernized network from top to bottom. State awards locally in metros, they do very well. Not every market's perfect. It's not what I'm saying, but with them doing all those modernizations going as far back as 2018 and through these last several years, and now throw in a sizable build to the C-band spectrum that they're building out, it really has shown here. Additionally, as we move towards what T-Mobile is doing, it says T-Mobile shows incredible speeds while earning best 5G honors for the third straight time. This definitely is due to the N41. They've had the spectrum from the Sprint merger for a few years now, and this has allowed them to excel and go beyond their competition with respect to capacity, specifically in 5G. So that when discussing median download speeds and upload speeds over 5G, T-Mobile is going to take the cake. They've gone out ahead. They've had the most time to build it, and they've put the pedal to the metal in scaling upgrades across the country. So as they've integrated the Sprint sites and as they've upgraded outdated T-Mobile sites, they've even built some new ones in rural America, it's really started to show. All right, median download speeds above 200 megabits per second in any major city in the half. They hit that in 59 markets. They even hit, I think, in 32 cities, the 300 megabits, and then they broke 400 megabits in one metro. So the network is very, very fast. Their 5G experience appears to be best according to this report, and as well as 5G availability, 4th time in a row. So when it comes to 5G, it's T-Mobile's thing. Now Verizon, it says, delivers strong results across the board, best 5G reliability of any carrier. All right, that's always been Verizon's thing, is reliability. If you have Verizon and you pay the premium or whatever, however you look at it, the expectation is you are going to get quality networking, a network you can count on that will always be there when you need it. They took 747 awards out of 875 total opportunities. Second most state level awards of any network. I think additionally here it says Verizon delivers the best 5G data reliability of any carrier for the fourth straight time. So even though T-Mobile is the really fast one and T-Mobile is the most available one when it comes to 5G, Verizon takes the reliability scores. So here's the ranking on the screen. The United States route second half 2022, all put into this table. All right, so they've got AT&T rated overall 96.4, Verizon at 95.9, and T-Mobile at 91.3. When I look at that score for AT&T, it's really good, right? Nationally, you think about that as a collected, aggregate score. It's very good. 96.4 is excellent. Verizon is very close behind it, 95.9. Probably the only thing holding back Verizon is just getting more of the network updated, right? So getting more of the cell sites that they have modernized. And then T-Mobile coming in at 91.3. There's something keeping their score down because it's not speed, right? They are the fastest. They have the most 5G. It's not 5G keeping them back. It's other things. So this has been a weakness for T-Mobile has been other things than speed. All right, looking at the reliability piece, you see it's more of the same story. The scores are identical. Accessibility, Verizon comes in at 96, T-Mobile at 95, and AT&T at 92. And then here's the speed story, which kind of shocked me. AT&T came in at 97, Verizon at 94, and T-Mobile at 93. So even though more of the markets are going to be much faster usually for T-Mobile, collectively across all the tested areas, the aggregate scores don't show T-Mobile being number one either. Because it's folks, there's more to networking than just the 5G side. Like, these companies still operate LTE networks, and there are times where you can't connect to 5G for whatever reason. It falls back on an LTE experience. So I think that's part of it, Additionally, the data, the calling, the text, AT&T's tops, Verizon's right there, and then T-Mobile lags. I mean, this is the one thing I will say that kind of is unacceptable in 2023. T-Mobile scoring an 85 in calling. Meanwhile, their competitors are 94 and 95 respectively. I don't know why this continues to plague them. I don't know. You would think at some point, this would become, something of the past, but it continues to give them a hard time. Additional for AT&T, they took 6 out of 7 awards. T-Mobile clocks the fastest speeds across the U.S. It says here, 151 megabit per second median download speed. It's really fast. For Verizon, it's they came in second across the 5 categories that they didn't win, so they're still competitive. I think some of the sentiments across, sometimes the commentary and the comments of my videos is that Verizon is unbearably slow. From a national standpoint, folks, it's just not that. If I look at AT&T, median download speeds is 57, Verizon 57. So for those people that say Verizon is congested and unbearably slow, well, then why aren't we hearing the same things about AT&T, coming in at the same speed? And then T-Mobile about 3 times faster than both of those carriers at 151. Very fast. Here's the root score tally awards by category. AT&T took 38 overall, Verizon at 30, and then T-Mobile at 1. Reliability, T-Mobile only had 1 root score award. AT&T at 41, Verizon at 30. So my impressions here is that overall, AT&T seems to perform very, very well. Verizon took the most accessibility rewards at 45. The speed awards, 45 for AT&T, 13 for T-Mobile, and 10 for Verizon. So we're talking about state-level awards. So even though T-Mobile is very, very fast, right, they don't take state-level awards in some of these measures that don't involve speed. All right, for data, again, same old story. AT&T at 41, Verizon at 16, and T-Mobile at 4. Calling, T-Mobile only took 1 state. They only took 1 in text. So 1 state. Call award, 1 text state award, and then look at AT&T just cooking 44, 48, call and text respectively. Verizon 36 and 38 for totals of 259 for AT&T, 205 for Verizon, and then 46 for T-Mobile. I kind of like what I'm seeing from AT&T here. That's really good awards. Here's the Metro scores. So we're looking at, major cities. Verizon shining in metros, 747 total Metro awards. AT&T at 428, and then T-Mobile at 303. Now, Verizon increased the Metro score awards by 8, half over half. T-Mobile lost 95 Metro awards, and then AT&T lost 6. All right, so in metros, AT&T performed very well. Fast speed, strong reliability, second highest in awards. T-Mobile posted even faster speeds since the last time they took this, made this report, and Verizon continues to impress in metro markets. They do very well there. Median download speed intervals. This is interesting. AT&T seems to have only 2 metro markets where median download speeds were only between 10 and 20 megabits. They had 4 such markets in the last half. So that's really good. There may come a point, folks, where this becomes 0. I think that's where we want to see it. The number of 20 to 30 megabit per second interval markets dropped, basically cut in half from 23 to 12. Those are great numbers, folks. And then the 30 to 40 megabit per second dropped as well. It went from 32 to 18. This is telling me that they're getting faster. All right, the 40 to 50 megabit interval, 38 to 23. Again, another dip. But where they made it all up was in the 50 plus megabit markets from 28 to 70. Those are great numbers. That's telling us that AT&T is getting faster across the board. Let's see here if there's anything else. Some 5G median download speed stuff. All right, so there's your AT&T overall root score awards, 4 outright awards, 36 ties. All right, those are awesome. Good numbers for AT&T. We'll compare these, I think, at the end. Let's take a look at T-Mobile. T-Mobile, very, very impressive. 0 10 to 20 megabit markets. 0 20 to 30 megabit markets. Only 2 at the 30 to 40 megabit interval. Only 1 at the 40 to 50. The fastest carrier, right? Look at how they increased their 50 plus megabit market number from 111 to 122. The fastest carrier, definitely T-Mobile, according to the data. And you will see that they did take some outright awards. All right, you don't see many on the reliability side and the accessibility side, but you do see some speed awards, 88 of them. Right, so they are definitely really fast. Verizon got rid of that one pesky 10 to 20 megabit market. That's good to see. They had 4 20 to 30 megabit markets from 13 to 4. That's great. They reduced their 30 to 40 megabit markets from 21 to 16. And then they reduced their 40 to 50 megabit market as well from 32 to 19. And they increased the 50 plus megabit markets from 58 to 86. One could argue based on speed, Verizon may be the most improved. And I think that's a testament to the C-band build and the upgrade rate. Okay, so really good stuff there from Verizon as they improve, kind of basically addressing their only major problem, I would say, is in some areas where they have yet to upgrade the network and it's kind of been slow to get upgraded, waiting for more spectrum. It seems to me like they're addressing their needs. So maybe Verizon is actually the most improved. You can make that argument. T-Mobile's kind of been ahead in speed and AT&T has been working on things for a few years. Verizon may be the most improved when it comes to speed. Looking at T-Mobile wins here. 5G availability goes to T-Mobile, 5G speed goes to T-Mobile, and then 5G reliability goes to Verizon. So the 5G awards to those two carriers. Let's see if there's anything else notable here. Highest 5G availability, 101 markets for T-Mobile, 36 for AT&T, 4 for Verizon. So, who's the 5G carrier? They send that marketing out pretty well. It's T-Mobile. In terms of fastest 5G download speeds, 68 markets for T-Mobile, 5 for Verizon, and 0 for AT&T. And then for most reliable 5G experience, 95 markets go to T-Mobile, go to Verizon, 58 to AT&T, and only 19 to T-Mobile. This is probably the most concerning thing, I would say, for T-Mobile, the fact that they are so fast in so many places, but don't align with the 5G reliability. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe that's something they can work on to improve. C-band helping out AT&T and Verizon. C-band, I mentioned this a few years ago. When these carriers were going to start deploying C-band, I mentioned it directly. The most important connection in this country was going to be C-band because so many customers will be connecting to it. T-Mobile is one company, right? Verizon and AT&T are two companies, which collectively have 2/3 of the U.S. cellular connections. And that's where most of the C-band is being utilized and connected to. So it was going to be a huge, important connection for folks, and it has become that. C-band takeaways, AT&T shows 5G speed gains in 70 C-band markets. Verizon, increasing 5G speeds in 90 cities. Those 70 and 90 cities for Verizon and AT&T are the nation's most populated cities. Right, so how important are they? Well, it says here that at Verizon, speeds climbed from 53 megs in the first half to 159 in the second half. Right, Verizon's improvement in Buffalo, New York, especially impressive, where it increased by over 100 megabits. For AT&T, now in 72 markets with C-band, their median download speeds improved in 70 of those cities, with median download speeds going from 39 megabits to 178. Those are sizable improvements, folks. Wow. You guys can see the key takeaways here. There are still things for the carriers to improve upon. When I look at T-Mobile, they obviously are the fastest carrier. They will probably continue to be that for a while. But I think at some point, all the speeds and all the carriers start to kind of overlap and mesh together, and you can't really distinguish them. I think they need to address their calling. It still appears to be a problem. I have no idea why it hasn't been addressed or figured out. Maybe voice over NR allows them to have this renaissance moment and really improve the calling. Again, I don't know what the symptoms are. I don't know if it's call drops. I don't know if it's disconnects. I don't know if it's failures. I have no idea. But based on the data, it shows that it's their weakest link. So they still need to fix that and improve that. Verizon showed promise. AT&T showed promise in their upgrades with C-band. Their speeds are improving. The thing that they lag behind T-Mobile, their competition, is basically speed. But man, can we talk about AT&T over the last couple of years just completely changing things in this root metric scoring? Those uniform upgrades are really starting to make a difference, right? We see over the last year how they've started to take awards, and Verizon, whom used to dominate this report every half, now has legitimate competition in both T-Mobile and AT&T. I'm thoroughly impressed by AT&T's improvements. I'm thoroughly impressed by the raw speed and throughput that T-Mobile has created, and I'm thoroughly impressed by how much improvement Verizon has made by adding and creating more capacity. Again, these numbers here, if you look at it, it's not like, oh, how fast is the network to my one phone? No, this is about reliability, accessibility, the consistency to perform time after time, test after test. You collect them in reports. It tells me more than an Ookla speed test, which is fine. An Ookla speed test is a proxy of available capacity at a single place at a single time. These reports are market-wide analysis, and to me, they're more meaningful than anything. Now, if these reports don't align with your experience, that's very possible, but this is national, looking at metro-level analysis. So take it as you will. Tell me what you guys think about your carrier, or if you test multiple ones, which one impressed you? Which one do you think is the most improved? Which one do you think has the most to improve? And who do you think is the best? Love to hear what you have to say on this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for all things going on with the channel. And don't forget to support us with the Buy Me a Coffee. I've got a link in the description. I love coffee. I'm drinking it right now, actually. And also our partner, Mint Mobile. Partner link in the description. Thanks to the YouTube members and the patrons who are supporting, making content on this channel possible. Y'all the goats, and thanks to everybody for watching. See you all in the next video. Peace.